Hi guys, welcome back to FOOTY with Wally. So let's predict week 2 of the Champions League. Obviously, I'll be focusing on the English clubs as always. And if you don't know me, and you probably don't, in this channel I cover primarily Tottenham and also the other big 6 clubs. So starting with Arsenal versus Olympiacos. This is one of the games that in your plan or in your calendar or anything, like when you plan your season, you need to put this game as a win, like at home against a very weak opponent compared to Arsenal. So Arsenal needs to win, especially considering that Arsenal, in my opinion, will be one of the clubs, one of the English clubs that will have at least 16 points at the end of the league phase, which is what is expected you to need actually, in order to qualify without having to play like in the playoffs. So yes, Arsenal needs to win this. However, I think Arteta, if he wants, he can also rotate some players, because Arsenal against Newcastle was Newcastle against Arsenal was a very intense game, very physical, as every game against Newcastle. So I do think even though Arsenal needs to win, the rotation can be done here. No. Actually, I was forgetting that Arsenal had the Carabao Cup, as all clubs actually, and obviously they rotate the players there. So I would say in this game against, like, especially Champions League, especially because you can't like miss a single point in this format. It's very dangerous missing points. I believe Arteta will probably go with like 9-10 of the actual starting 11 or something. If he needs to rotate, he will rotate like one player or two max. And about their opponent, Olympiacos. The problem with those kind of teams like Olympiacos, Copenhagen, Bodo, Glimt, I believe, like those clubs are usually dominating in their country, and then when they go to the Champions League, for example, they struggle to, like, against strong opponents as Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, like Barcelona, etc. They struggle to adapt in the sense that they play their whole season dominating their countries, and then they need to go all the opposite. They need to transform their style into just defending, but that's very hard if you're not used to it. So I do believe that Olympiacos will try to only defend against Arsenal, and maybe like try counter-attacking. But I don't know if they can do this. I really don't know, especially playing away. If it were in Greece, maybe you could have some danger here. I don't see Arsenal losing against Olympiacos at home. Even like drawing, I think it will be a very easy game. So I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal, because I believe they will approach this game very seriously, because it is what you need to do in this format. Everything in order to get like 16 to 17 points and then qualify within the first 8 that don't need to play the playoffs. And also something important to say about this game is that next Arsenal's game is against West Ham, so it's not like they have a very, very difficult game. For example, if they were to play against Liverpool next Premier League game week, then they could try to save some energy here to play against Liverpool. So yeah, but don't believe they are that worried, especially because it will be at home again. So next game, actually, by the way, I don't know if you watched, you probably haven't, my last video about, like, my last predictions video, but I got 4 of the winners out of 6 matches. So I'm curious to see how many I will get right this game week. But anyway, let's get to the next one. Bodo Glimt against Tottenham. So Tottenham will have this game away, but as we saw last season in the Europa League, and Tottenham there were a way worse team than they are today. Don't see so much dangerous here. Even though, honestly guys, Tottenham are having more trouble when they play against defensive opponents. Like, for example, Tottenham against good low blocks, I believe, are struggling a bit. At this point, I really believe that for Tottenham, it has been more comfortable playing against the likes of City, for example. Basically, teams that will attack Tottenham so they can counter-attack, whereas against teams where Tottenham needs to be the protagonist, needs to have the ball for most of the time, like basically dominate the game, they struggle. We saw this against Brighton, against Wolves, and against Bournemouth. Even though Bournemouth, I believe, are way better than Brighton and especially than Wolves. But anyway, you got the gist of what I'm saying. Therefore, let me go with, I don't know if I go 3-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham. And also, I remember that I was talking about teams that Tottenham struggled to play against. I forgot to comment on Villarreal. Villarreal also gave some trouble to Tottenham, even though in my prediction, I had said Tottenham would win 3-0. It was 1-0, conceding a lot of chances to Villarreal. But thankfully, they were not so good. So 2-1 Tottenham against Bodo Glimt. So next game, Chelsea against Benfica. In theory, Chelsea should be favorites here, right? And I do think they're favorites here. By the way, the new Benfica coach is Jose Mourinho. So that would be interesting to see, like him going back to Stamford Bridge. But anyway, talking about Chelsea, like they should be favorites, obviously. But the problem with Chelsea is not the opponents, is themselves. If they have 11 players on the pitch, they should win this game. But in recent matches, they had some problems with having 11 men, basically. In the last, let's say, 4 matches, they had like 2 red cards, something like that. And against Bayern Munich, a centre-back, Chalobah, scoring an own goal. So if Chelsea's defense plays, let's say, properly, like that's the word, but play correctly, not amazingly. Basically, if they don't make a huge mistake, I believe Chelsea will win this game. However, Benfica is way better than Bodo, Glimt, for example, and Olympiacos. So I don't think it will be like 3-0 or something. I think this game is kind of difficult. And Benfica have some good players like Pavlic, the centre forward. They have Richard Rios, that's very hard to pronounce. The Colombian CM, let's say. He's more like CM than DM, but he's not a proper 10. I believe if you are a Chelsea supporter, you probably remember this guy because I saw a lot of people saying that Chelsea wanted to sign him, but he ended up going to Benfica. But he is very good in my opinion. In the tier list of players linked to Tottenham, he was also linked to Tottenham. I said that he would be a good signing. But anyway, they also have Sudakov, which is the Ukrainian attacking midfielder who is decent. And they also have like an interesting Danish gem. His name is like Shudrup. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Like too many consonants in one name. But I'll put his photo here so you can see who it is. No. Actually, he's not Danish. He is Norwegian. I just remembered. But anyway, apart from some interesting players and the fact that Benfica is also a big club in Europe, like historically speaking, they have 2 Champions League trophies, so they are not like a small club. But I believe that Chelsea will win this game, especially because they need to win. Like they need to win if they want to have a chance of qualifying within the first 8. Otherwise, they will have to play the playoffs, and the playoffs can be quite random. Like we had City against PSG last season in the playoffs, so you can't make mistakes in the league phase, and Chelsea needs to go 100% focused on winning this game. So I'm gonna go 3. No, Mourinho is very like he'll probably park the bus against Chelsea, so I'm gonna go 2-1 actually. 2-1 Chelsea. Obviously 11 against 11, 2-1 Chelsea. So now we go to Turkey, to Galatasaray against Liverpool. Galatasaray have an interesting starting 11 because they have Sané, they have Gundogan, they have like Lemina who played for Wolverhampton, they have Davinson Sanchez who played for Tottenham, they have the striker, the Argentinian striker who plays for Internazionale, Icardi for example. So they have a lot, no, because I'm exaggerating, but they have some interesting players, or players that were interesting in like 2020, 2021, but in 2025, I don't know, like the team, like they were destroyed by Frankfurt away in Champions League phase 1. Not Champions League phase 1, Champions League week 1. So I don't know about this team. Like I don't like the concept of getting a lot of random players from different clubs, like players at the end of their career, and trying to put them all together expecting they will play as they played like 5 years ago. Obviously Sané is an exception here because he was playing for Bayern Munich, so he is still good, let's say, and he's still young. But anyway, I don't think they will find anything against Liverpool. And talking about Liverpool now, even though Liverpool lost their last game and Palace played way better than Liverpool, they could have won, as I said in my analysis, they could have won 3-1. Like, so it could have, like, the result could have been 3-1 Palace or 4-2 or something like that. And Alisson saved Liverpool. But I don't think Galatasaray are as good as Crystal Palace. So first. Second, I don't think Liverpool will be like reckless. I believe they will play seriously and try to win, like respect their opponents and try to win the game, because they did this last season. Liverpool and Barcelona took very seriously the league phase, and that's why they ended up like first and second respectively. Technically speaking, Liverpool are playing, in my opinion, they're playing well. I've been seeing people saying that Liverpool are not playing well, they're only getting results, but against Atleti they played very well, in my opinion. Like, the result was actually an illusion there, because Liverpool could have won that game 3-0 easily based on how many chances they produced. Against Everton, they played well. The thing was that Liverpool gives me the idea, as I said in my analysis as well, that sometimes they are too confident that they will win the game because they are very good. But sometimes Liverpool have these lapses. I hope lapse is a word in English. But anyway, if it isn't, those small moments of getting not focused, basically. And obviously I'm talking about mentality or like / concentration here. But technically speaking, not all players are playing well. So for example, McAllister are not having an amazing season so far, obviously because he's not completely fit. But Konate is, and he is playing kind of weirdly. He's not playing well in my opinion. Like Van Dijk is carrying him, and also Wirtz, he needs to step up and start to get like numbers, because he will be criticized, even though I believe people should have more patience. Like, he was expensive and he will be criticized based on how much Liverpool paid for him, and it was a lot of money, and he's not playing well so far. Even himself talked this already. Like, he admittedly said that he's struggling to adapt to the Premier League intensity. But I believe in Euro, like in the Champions League, this could be his, let's say, opportunity of getting numbers against Galatasaray. And talking briefly about the atmosphere, Galatasaray away is like one of the hardest games, let's say, regarding not random, that's slightly disrespectful, non-mainstream opponents. You can have, let's say, a Monaco away, Galatasaray away, Copenhagen away as well. There are some clubs that when you play against them away, they have this atmosphere, they have this stadium where people are like shouting, supporting the team. They are very energetic. And Galatasaray Stadium, I don't know the name, sorry, but it is one of the best during that. So this pressure that they transmit to their opponents could be a problem. However, I'm gonna go, by the way, I want to see your results in the comment section because I want to compare with mine. Please. I believe Liverpool will concede at least one goal this game, but at the same time, I don't think they lose. That is such a hard one. I kind of want to go 2-1 Liverpool, but I also want to go 3-1 Liverpool. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool, respecting Galatasaray away. That is a hard game. So next game, I have no doubt how to pronounce this team. I believe it's like Saint-Gilloise, something like this. So this team against Newcastle. So Newcastle needs to win this game. Like, that is, regarding all those games, that is the unforgivable if you lose. Like, apart from Arsenal at home against Olympiacos, I believe the easiest game here is this Newcastle game. And obviously, I'm not going to pretend I know a lot about this club because I don't. So I will just talk about Newcastle. And Newcastle need to start getting results because they played well. For example, they played well against Liverpool. In my opinion, they played better than Liverpool, even though they had 10 men on the pitch. They played very well that game, but they lost. They had some moments against Arsenal, even though, in my opinion, Arsenal played way better overall. They had some moments and they lost. Like in the Premier League, Newcastle have 6 points in 6 matches. That is not good. Like, Newcastle have good players, some very good, like Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes. They are very good, like excellent players. So they should be winning more. And this game could be like the game where you go there, play very seriously, get like 2, 3, 4 goals maybe, and then you start feeling happy again, like confident, and then you try to get good momentum. So imagine that Newcastle know all of those things that I just said, and they will take this game seriously. I am going to go 2-0 Newcastle. So just a random / interesting fact is that this club against Newcastle actually won their first game against PSV away. That is very hard, but they did it. So don't sleep on that, Newcastle. You need to play well, take them very seriously. So last but not least, Monaco versus Manchester City. City will have to play away, will have to play in terms of football in France, even though I know Monaco is not actually France. But anyway, that is irrelevant here. Like, regarding all those clubs, okay, I believe Benfica is slightly stronger than Monaco, but Monaco are not weak. Like, they have a good team. Monaco have some interesting players, like Ansu Fati, the Barcelona wonder kid who never became an actual reliable player because of injuries. Pogba as well, that you will remember him from Manchester United especially. Pogba is injured, so he won't play this game, but they have them. Caio Henrique, the left winger, the left back actually, the Brazilian left back, he is quite good in my opinion. They also have Eric Dyer, but one of their best players, and I'm not talking about Pogba, is injured. Zakaria, I believe the correct pronunciation. I believe he played for Chelsea as well. I will check this, and if I'm right, I'll put in the editing. I'm talking about Manchester City. I believe they're playing well again. Like, they are starting to get more confidence. Foden is playing well. Like, Haaland is always playing well because Haaland is Haaland. And they're not conceding too many opportunities. Like, they're not seeming so fragile defensively speaking. Like, this sort of 4-1-4-1 formation that Manchester City are playing, it's working so far. Doku is, like, he seems very comfortable getting the ball and dribbling, like passing his man, beating his man 1v1. The players, individually speaking, are playing well. And as a team, I see coherence again in Manchester City. And they have one of the best managers in the history of football. So when City starts to play well, starts to feel confident, we people who don't support City need to start getting worries because they are strong. They have good players. Their ceiling is very high. And City can use this win or this game against Monaco to get 6 points in 2 matches in the Champions League and just give people the "we are back" message. Honestly, I don't think City will struggle a lot. Like the tactical match, I believe it's favorable to City. Like, I don't know if I go 3-0 or 2-0. No, I kind of believe that City might concede a goal because they're playing away and their opponent are not like weak. But honestly, if they attack City, they might concede a lot of space for Haaland to run, and that is a huge problem. So I'm going to go 4-1 City. Okay, guys, we have a problem here because I predicted 6 wins for English clubs, and statistically speaking, I know that that is not so probable. So I want to change a result. So let me just check. Arsenal, Newcastle, and City will most likely win their games. Now we have, like, comparing to Liverpool and Chelsea, Tottenham have the weaker opponent. So let's exclude Tottenham. So now we have Chelsea and Liverpool. If I had to say someone to not win their game, I would change Chelsea's game. Actually, I'm going to change Chelsea's game. Mourinho will probably park the bus and he might get a draw with it. So I'm going to go 1-1 Chelsea against Benfica at home. So guys, that was it. If the video is long, you just double the speed because I speak quite slowly anyway, which is expected because it's not my native language. So, but anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with the friends in case I have said anything useful, and see you in the next time. Bye.